trained with him. I've trained with so many amazing people throughout my career. Johnny O'Mara, Ryan Dungey. I worked with Villapoto. Like when I got second at Daytona
Yeah,
on that
right.
450,
Yeah.
I had Villapoto come in and work with me all week.
Really?
Yep. He really helped me a lot.
What is you learn the most from Villo?
I was pretty kind of hammering the bike quite a bit. And
Mm,
I think the biggest thing RV was like, dude, winners find ways, make it
mm,
work. He's like, get it in a window, get it predictable, shut your brain off, and do your fucking job.
mm. And that's advice you actually needed to hear at that
I
time.
think so.
Mm.
I think so. There was times where I needed that for sure.
There's yeah, I wonder if there's a point where these guys are a bit too focused on the motorcycle. Like I look at you hear Chase and it's just like or Prado right now. It's just like they're so focused on the bike and it not being and I guess it's hard to know like how far out of the window is it? Is it in the window and like they're just not making it work? But what's your thoughts around that these days?
I will say, like, I was pretty gnarly on suspension,
Yeah.
and I needed to chill out at times, and then I was like in my head at times, and like I accidentally would think about stuff and I'd make it worse. So I think it's a double-edged sword. But one thing's for sure, like I was pretty dialed in at Millville. I was
This
pretty
time.
comfortable. Yeah, I
Yeah.
was pretty comfortable. And I think there's something to be said that like when you find something, right, and you feel like you're 1 to 2 seconds faster on the stopwatch. You can do things. You can go different spots on the track, and you can make that pass, or you can do things that no one else can't. You're unlocked.
And so why is it that some guys like can't get there? Like you would think, let's say Chase or Prado. Like Prado is now months into a outdoor season. He's been on the bike. There's only so many things that you can change. Like
Yeah.
at what point at what point is it on him to get it in that window or like how long does it take? Is it conceivable that he just still can't get it there or
I just think it takes time. Like I was pretty dialed in 2014, 2015, 2016 on
because
the
the
Star
bike stays
Yamaha.
relatively
And
similar?
then I was at that point in my life I needed a change. So I went to Geico Honda for 2017. And I test rode the bike and I was like we did lap times and like I was faster. But in the right conditions.
Mm,
But I needed the change. I needed just something new. So I went to Geico Honda and, if the window was there, I was really good. But it wasn't maybe as good everywhere as the Yamaha was at that time.
mm.
But also I came in, I'm like, hey, give me this and this and this. And then they did. But also sometimes I requested the wrong things.
Mm,
Like I needed to learn as well. And I tried to set up the Honda like a Yamaha.
mm.
I don't know about you, but you can't do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I made mistakes, and then after a year of trials and tribulations, like we kind of like started over. We got a new bike, and and we were able to like we understood each other better after the tough times, and then it was a lot easier. So that's why sometimes I think when people go to a different team, like it could be good, but it is a gamble
Mm.
because you got to it takes time to learn the staff and the people and how to communicate and talk to each other to get what you need or for them to understand you so they can give you what you need.
So not it's almost just not about the bike as much as it's about the relationships with the people and like the communication to get the bike in the window.
I think it is about the bike too. Like I
Mm.
think every bike has its own unique flavor and it does some things better than others for sure.
Do you are you still glad that you did the time at Geico that you did, or would you, if you had your time again, would you have stayed at Star?
Um I loved my time at Star, but I loved Geico. Geico was family. I really enjoyed that chapter of my life. I was pretty bummed that we lost the title sponsor
Mm.
because I'm pretty sure I maybe had another year deal with those guys, and then to come back from they honored me during my back,
Huh.
right, and still paid me, and then to come back that first year and almost win the outdoor championship, battling Dylan, like that was a big deal. And that for me was like, hey guys, thank you for so much for, being good to me, because they didn't have to.
So what was the circumstances that you went to Geico? Like you purely were just ready for a switch at that point in your career. You'd won 2 championships and you were just ready for a change and a...
Well, I think it came down to some negotiation stuff. At the time, I had an agent, and we were kind of butting heads with Bobby a little bit. And, I was pretty bullheaded. Bobby's pretty bullheaded. He's kind of Wild West when it comes to negotiations and whatnot. So I just think the relationship had kind of taken its course at that point. And then, it was getting time away from each other was probably going to be the healthiest thing at that point. Yeah.
Fuck, there's so many things you got to deal with, at that level.
Yeah, it's you got to be fit. You got to put yourself in good positions on the dirt bike, right? And you got to race your ass off, and you got to get the results. But then you also got to play poker. Or you could say a game of chess. It's a little bit political as well. And you got to know, when to ask for stuff, how to say it. You got to be a good businessman.
So did you always get that right, do you think?
No, for sure. Like I've totally made mistakes. And I think that's where my dad has put his blood, sweat, and tears into Spring Creek Motocross Park. And it's like 37 years he's done that now. And then he was just like, hey, when you're 16, 17, whatever, he's like, hey, you're big boys. You and Alex, J-Mart, do you. I'm running the business. So I had trainers and stuff like that, but that's kind of where I think at times, like, I wish I would have maybe had like a life coach. Someone that was there regardless of the results to help me look at stuff from a 3,000-foot perspective.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think I wish, I would have thought about.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. Gypsy Gang.